Hello interwebs, how are you doing? I am doing well. Sorry about the background noise. I'm filming this vlog before I film my weekly video because I wanted to leave the air conditioner on for a little while because I went outside and I was like throwing the ball for Tigers and I totally forgot to turn my air conditioner on when I was outside because I normally will, like I kind of turn it on and off throughout the day just as I need it because I'm naturally kind of lizardish, so I like to lay in the sun, not in the sun because I have really pale skin, but you get what I'm saying, like I could use a heating lamp. Anyways, so normally I'll just use the air conditioner if it gets like stuffy and then I'll only leave it on for like 10 or 15 minutes and I'll turn it off. But if I'm going to film or something, I'll close my office door and I'll leave my air conditioner on for like 45 minutes or an hour so that it's nice and cool in here while I film because the studio lights generate a lot of heat and I can't have that on when I'm filming like audio with mom. Well, I was going to show you my mic, but apparently the cord's too short to lift up. So I'm not going to do that. Short, not short. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, the air conditioner's loud. Sorry. What else is going on? So I curled my hair today. It's funny because everybody is always like, oh my god, I love your hair whenever I curl it. But curling my hair is like the ultimate lazy kid thing to do because I didn't want to shower. I mean, I'm not like gross or anything. I would have to get my hair wet and it's like this big ordeal and I'm perfectly hygienic, so I didn't feel like washing my hair, so I did something with that texture, and this is the thing that I did. It actually doesn't even take that long because I'm missing quite a bit of hair because my side cut, a lot of people think it's grown out. It's not. Look, it's right there. It'd be kind of cool if I just rocked it in this length. I'm not sure. People have been asking me about whether I'm going to like go back to my side cut or whether I'm going to grow it out, and the plan was to grow it out, but I don't know, Nick is all like, oh, I miss your side cut. He really liked it. And I would look super cool with a side cut and pink hair, but then like, I don't know, is that too much? Like, I don't want to come across as being like, look at me, I'm in a band. I mean, I'm not in a band, but I think that's what it would look like if I had hot pink hair and it was shaved. Anyways, what's going on? So Nick and I went out for fondue. Best thing ever. I've never been for fondue before and it was so fun. Oh my goodness, it was so fun. So we got the summer special, which was like all seafood and stuff like that, and we started out with like they call it a cheese course, which kind of cracks me up. It's sort of like the appetizer, but we got like the spinach and artichoke dip, and it came with all sorts of stuff to dip it in, like veggies and bread. I really liked the apples, that was my favorite thing, and chips and stuff. So good. Then we had salad, that was sort of boring. Then we had like our seafood for actual dinner, and I didn't know that when you go out for fondue you actually like cook all your food yourself. Like, it's not just the cheese that's fondue, it's everything is fondue. So that was super cool. We chose like a broth with like Old Bay seasoning in it because we got like lobster and crab, and it was like little portions, but so fun. And then we got dessert, and we got the s'mores fondue. So good. So that was like a really fun time. And then over the weekend, I don't know if I talked to you about Halo or not, but so I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like my gamingness started from Halo 3. Like, I always played video games growing up, but I was never like a gamer, you know? I never like was dedicated to it in that way, I guess. And then right before I met Nick, I had a friend who had he had Halo, and I would hang out at his house sometimes with like a bunch of other people, and we would like kind of take turns playing Halo and like quarter screens and stuff. And I was like not good, but I wasn't like the worst, so it was like kind of encouraging because I had never played a first-person shooter. Well, I did play this one, I can't remember what it was called, but I did play this one war game for PlayStation 2 that I really liked, but I don't think it was a difficult first-person shooter. I digress. So I had never played like a competitive online shooting game or anything like that. So when I started to play Halo and it was really fun, and I wasn't like, thank you. So that was awkward. My phone just rang. I don't appreciate it when that happens. What was I saying? I forgot. Wait, I was saying something. I don't even think it was important, but I can't remember what I was saying. God dang it. First I was talking about fondue, and then I was talking about Halo. Okay, so when I started playing Halo and I was like okay at it, it was like sort of encouraging to me. And then when I met Nick, he was super into Halo, like so into Halo. So I was like kind of excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm into Halo too. Not the way you are, but this could be a thing, right? And so shortly after Nick and I met, we played at half screens for a while, but that's awful. So shortly after Nick and I met, I bought, I saved up and I bought the Master Chief Halo 3 edition Xbox 360. It's like green and orange and super cool. And we played so much Halo. Oh my gosh. I think I had something like on my main account, I had like 6,000 ranked gameplays. And I probably had another like 5 or 6 various accounts that were just like Smurfs. My main account got banned because of an identity issue. When Halo 4 came out, I wanted to play Halo 4 because I didn't really like Halo Reach. Or was Reach on Halo 3's maps? I can't really remember. Anyways, so like I got Halo 4 and I wanted to play Halo 4 and I played a few games of it, and then my Xbox prompted me to do an update. When it did the update, it signed me out of Xbox Live. Now, mind you, I've been logged into the same Xbox for like 8 years and had never logged out ever. And apparently, I didn't know the password. When I went to log back in, I didn't know the password. So I did the password reset. I have no idea what email that was attached to because I checked all of my emails, every email I could think of. No idea what email that was attached to. I think it was hooked up to my college email, which I don't have access to anymore. So I called Microsoft and they're like, oh, well, here's the security question. And it was, I don't remember what it was, but I kept answering it and I was like, it's this. This is the answer. This is the answer. And they're like, no, it's not. So I think when I put in the security question, I like mistyped the answer. Like, say the answer was, green. I typed like Greep. You know what I mean? So couldn't get the answer to the security question. They're like, that's okay. We can totally recover your account as long as you have the original credit card number on that you used to set up the account. You think I don't remember the password from 8 years ago, but I have a credit card from 8 years ago? You think that that's how this works? So I didn't have that, so I'm like permanently locked out of that account. And then the majority of my Smurf accounts got banned because I was rude. It was very rude. So I started a new account. Well, at first I swore off Microsoft for the rest of my life. I was really angry because I had it wasn't just about the games played. I mean, that was honestly the majority of it was my gamer score and the games played, but I had purchased a lot of stuff from the Xbox Live store, a lot. And none of that, I don't get any of that back. It's so stupid. So anyways, what got me about this is that I was just calling to try to put a new payment method on the account. What kind of person would hack someone's Xbox Live account to put their credit card information on it? Why would you do that? And I offered to send them my license, my social security card, my birth certificate, my left arm. And they weren't having any of it. So anyways, fast forward. Well, I didn't really like Halo 4 anyways, but I did get to play a few games before it prompted me for that update. And at the time, when Halo 4 first came out, it was extremely similar. I keep going back and forth. I think it was Halo 4, but part of me also feels like it was Halo Reach and that I didn't play Halo 4, but whatever. One of them had a very Call of Duty style gameplay. It was all you had a profile and you picked your weapons for the profile, and there weren't weapon spawns on the map, and you could put a sniper in your profile. It was so weird and I didn't like it at all, because what I always liked about Halo 3 and ODST, and I'm kind of thinking Reach was played in Halo 3 and ODST, but I started to get out of Halo and way more into World of Warcraft ODST era, so I just can't really remember. Anyways, anywho, so I didn't really I think it was Halo 4. Although now, when I got this Xbox One, did I mention that part? So Nick and I got Xbox Ones, both of us. Really exciting. We kind of haven't bought any consoles in a really long time. My PS4 was a gift. My friend David gave it to me. And then I got a Wii U, but that's a really cheap console. And that was well over a year ago. And then finally we caved and we got Xboxes. And I made a new gamer tag, and we played Master Chief Collection for a while, and I'm still super rusty. I'm getting better, but I'm still really rusty. But Nick, it's no rust at all. It's so stupid. We were playing team doubles, and we were doing pretty well. Both of us were doing pretty well, and then he started to kind of show off and carry really hard because he's obnoxious like that, and I'm still kind of rusty. I always needed more practice at a game like that than he did, whereas he was kind of just naturally gifted in that area. So he starts showing off, and then now all we're getting is boosted accounts. It's so annoying. He ruined it for us. So I've been playing tons of Halo. It's really fun. And Halo 5's coming out. That's why we got Xboxes, because I saw this guy named Campy. Campy, is that right? Is his name Campy? Yeah, okay, his name is Campy. I looked it up on the computer. So I saw this kid who had like a Halo 5 montage from the Halo 5 beta. Looks amazing. And the gameplay is like just like Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3. It looks so good. So good. So I'm super excited for that to come out. That was a really long and drawn out story. What else is going on? I had this thought the other day. This is way off topic, but I was with someone out in public the other day, and we saw someone, and the person that I was with was like, I'm not sure if that's a man or a woman, which I was like, whoa, don't be like that, you know? And the person that I was with wasn't being like disrespectful. They were just, you know, someone who hadn't been exposed to like transgender people or anything like that in their life. And so when I was talking to them about it, because I can't just like let it go. I just like can't let it go. And so I was like talking to that person, and I was like, well, the way I figure is that if you are transgender and you're brave enough to live your life as, like if I was transgender, female to male, and I was the transgender man, which I'm not, I'm straight female, obviously, but if I was, I think it takes a lot of courage to live your life out loud like that, and I think it comes with a lot of ridicule and ignorance and sometimes even hate, and even if you don't understand it, like, do you really want to be a part of that, even on accident? And the person I was with was like, no, definitely not. And I was like super proud. Like, I don't know, as weird as that sounds, like it's really, when somebody like doesn't understand something and they make a comment like that, and then you try to just like explain it, like, but do you like want to hurt their feelings? Like, even if you do think it's weird or you don't understand it or anything, do you like really want to be the reason someone's feelings are hurt? And they're like, well, no. And then like that's it, and their perception of the whole situation is changed. Like, I don't know, makes me happy. That was a weird story to tell, but it like, I don't know, I get really happy when you see people like evolving like that, you know, when you like see your friends or whatever like just kind of understand a situation a little bit better and be a little bit like, I don't know, more understanding of other people because of it. I have a problem with empathy. I really do. It's like a big issue of mine, and I never really knew what personality type I was, and I like always kind of worried that I was, I guess, narcissistic because I like to be by myself. I generally am very exhausted being around other people. This is going to sound horrible, but it's like I can't handle listening to other people's problems. It's not that I don't care. I like emotionally can't deal with it. Like when people tell me about things that are like sad or upsetting or bad or whatever, like I just don't have the capacity to like fully and deal with it. I guess I don't know if that makes any sense. And like I recently got disowned by a family member for like really no reason. Like I have no idea where it came from at all. Like it was, I think they're having a hard time in their life and I'm just like an easy target for something like that. But I literally got emailed and was like, you're no longer my niece. Oh, haven't talked to you in 3 weeks. Hope all's well. And it's been kind of weird because it's one of my dad's siblings, and like my dad died, so things have been kind of weird about that, and his sibling that disowned me, which is like so funny because I didn't do anything. We weren't fighting. Like it's so bizarre, but like I think that it's really tough when people pass like that, and then one person's like kind of far away, and I don't know if like maybe because she was like far away and she wasn't here, she's got like some guilt things and she's like pushing people away. But we've had like a really rocky, I guess, relationship since like when my dad got sick, because I got in like an argument with her about something really stupid. It was literally just that I was sad. Like it had nothing to do with her, and I think she even knew that. It was like right when I found out my dad was terminal, I got in like an argument with her, and it ended with her being like, well, I'm sorry. And I was like, don't give me your self-righteous apologies. Z-snap. And her daughter, so my cousin, like assassinated my character on Facebook. I mean, she wrote like, it could have filled a Word document. Like it was so long about like how dare I attack her mother, one of the like kindest, most generous people in the entire world, and how could I do such a thing, and like my life isn't even that bad, and there's so many people that have it worse, and which is really bizarre because at no point was I like really whining or crying. I was actually doing the opposite. Like I was really upset because I had literally found out my dad was terminal that day. And so I was just upset, and it's like hard, like sometimes people just want to like be very factual and talk about it, and like if you're like emotionally processing things, it's really hard to like have that cold exterior being what you're met with, if that makes any sense. And so like she went on Facebook and just like annihilated my character for no reason. My aunt didn't like say or do anything about it. Like she just like let her leave that posted, which I understand that my cousin is an adult, but in the same sense, like if I did something like that, my father would physically force me to do the right thing and like take it down and apologize, and like if he would make me send them a freaking carrier pigeon apologizing. There's no way my father, like if I was 50 years old and my dad was 80, which obviously that situation is impossible, but he would still make me apologize. Like I promise you there's no way I would have gotten out of that situation, because that's so mean. Like I don't really care what I said. Like how do you lack, I don't know, the compassion for another human being? Like I was obviously having like a really hard time, and like I think that's why now, like I don't think I was like very empathetic before my dad died, but like after going through something that was like that difficult, I like look at the world a lot differently now. Like the example, I like feel like I was on a tangent and I'm off of that tangent now, but whatever. So like the example I was thinking of yesterday is I like guilty pleasure keeping up with the Kardashians. Like do not care, judge me if you want. It's background noise, whatever. So I was like watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and it was like one of the older seasons, and like Scott and Kourtney were like whatever, and the whole family was super mean to him, like really really mean to him. Like nobody went to his birthday party, and like they won't, like one of them won't let him in her house, and like this whole big to do. And you guys, I don't know, unless you're like a fan of the show, you probably don't know this, but like both of Scott's parents died recently. I think it was like right around the time that my dad died, or like maybe before, I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was before, because I think it was like Christmas time. Wait, no, so it would have been last Christmas. Yeah, I think they died right around the same time that my dad died. Both of them died within like 4 weeks of each other. Like his mom was super sick and in the hospital, ended up dying, and then his dad like was in fine health and then like died of heartbreak. Like I don't even know. Like, and he's like my age. Like he's maybe a little older than me. He might be like 30 or 31, but like I'm not even close to my mom, but I can't fathom the amount of grief that you would be dealing with both of your parents dying that close together. I can't even, I feel so awful for him. Like I really, really can't, I don't know how you could deal with that. And like the truth is, I don't think he is, and like he's got definitely like substance abuse issues, which he always was like a partier or whatever according to the show, but like it never seemed like it was really much of a problem. It just seemed like he was kind of immature. And then like now after his parents died, he's like completely off the deep end, and in real life now him and Kourtney are like broken up, and like I can't help but feel so bad. And it's like for a multitude of reasons. Like throughout the show, a common theme is like Kourtney and Scott want to move to New York to be with Scott's family, and they never did that. Like they never ever did that. So like Scott never like went back and like saw his family frequently. Like he saw them very infrequently. And then he did all this, he sacrificed all this for this woman and the kids they had together in this life or whatever. And then like when his parents die, he doesn't get the support and the help that he needs, and they break up because he doesn't know how to deal with that, because who would know how to deal with that? And now he has nothing. He made all of those sacrifices and now he has nothing. And like I just like, and like, you know, you hear the media like, oh, he cheated on her, this, that, and the other thing, but like we don't know what happened. I just know that like his parents really did die. And like Kris Jenner is like one of the producers of that show and had no problems with them showing them being mean to him on camera constantly. So it's like they were probably mean to him, and I just don't know how you could deal. Like I don't have a huge support system. Like I've got Nick and my grandma and my sister, but it's weird because when it comes to somebody dying, you really need a support system outside of people who lost that person, if that makes any sense, because you don't want to like compound your grief on top of their grief and vice versa, because it's not helpful for anybody. You know, it's easier to talk about those things once you've kind of dealt with it a little bit, and then you can like reminisce in a positive way and not just like cry together. I don't know. I just felt really, really bad for him, and I have this issue with like really like feeling what other people feel. Like I was watching this episode of stupid Keeping Up with the Kardashians last night, and it wasn't even an episode regarding Scott's parents. Literally all it was them talking about moving to New York so that his parents could like see the baby more often. And I'm sitting here at 2 a.m, sitting at my desk, crying for Scott Disick's parents dying. Like that is obscene. And I think that's why I'm so like, I have a really hard time with like connecting with people and friendships, because like I like if you tell me something sad, like I'm sad. Like it's not, I don't blow it off. It's not like, and it's not like, I like feel like I push people away because like feeling other people's, like hearing about other people's feelings is like so, like I feel bad for them or like happy for them or like whatever it is. Like I think I'm like a sponge, like a sponge for emotions, which sets me up for situations like my aunt, who has all of the like textbook personality tics of a narcissistic human being. And they say that like narcissists like tend to really like be emotionally abusive towards people who are really empathetic, because it's they can really easily manipulate the way they feel. And like it's true, like I don't even have that close of a relationship with my aunt, but like to wake up and the first thing I read is this like page-long email about how I'm being like, she doesn't want me to be part of her family because, and it said it was like everything, this was from her words, and she was like, well, everything that I say you take the wrong way and your feelings end up hurt, and clearly you just want to be upset. But like just for like context, like the last thing that she said that upset me was on the anniversary of my dad's death. She posted something on Facebook that was like, you know, everybody says that it's not hard losing your brother. Well, they didn't have to lose this person and that person and that person, this person and that person, and it's worse. Or something along those lines. Like, here I am on Facebook trying not to be like emo, trying not to like, you know, attention monger in that way, because I don't like doing that. I don't, like, if you want attention, there's better ways to get attention than pity mongering. So like, yeah, I was like really sad and everything, but like to see someone then say like, oh, well, your loss isn't as valid as my loss because I also lost X, Y, and Z person. And like one of the people that she mentioned on her list was her father, but my grandpa died when he was like 80, which is very, very, extremely very different than somebody dying when they're 52. My grandpa also didn't suffer. He died instantly. He had an aneurysm. So, like, it was sad. It was definitely sad, and it was a huge loss. Like, I lived with my grandparents for a while when I was a little kid. It was it was really sad, but it's not the same thing as, and it's not about being worse. And that was, like, my whole point, was that you shouldn't sit there and, like, outwardly say, like, my pain is harder than your pain, because you have no idea what other people are feeling. Like, my dad had cancer for 5 years. She lived somewhere else. She didn't have to watch his quality of life deteriorate. I mean, he lost all of his teeth from radiation. It changed his taste buds. He couldn't, like, eat very well. And he had a shoulder injury before he got cancer. And because of the radiation, it flared up the shoulder problems. So he could no longer go fishing because he couldn't cast a fishing pole. He couldn't draw back his bow. And, like, that was, like, his life. He was an outdoorsman. And, like, she didn't have to see him deteriorate in those ways. And then what was even more heartbreaking is that after he went into remission the first time, he did everything he could to get healthy. I mean, he was losing weight, he was getting really active, he was trying to eat healthy, he was really focused on learning. I don't know if you guys remember, like 2-3 years ago, I did a video asking for like science books because my dad wanted to learn about physics. He wanted to like better himself in all of these ways. He felt like he had this second chance, and he was only in remission for 6 months. And they found tumors everywhere in his body. And like, she wasn't the person that he called when he got home from the doctors and said, like, I need to tell you that I'm dying. Like, she didn't have to deal with that. Like, she didn't have to, like, watch him lose 100 pounds because he had a tumor on his esophagus and couldn't eat. Like, she didn't have to go through that. She didn't have to physically watch him deteriorate. I mean, if anybody's ever, like, seen someone who is, like, terminally ill and, like, about to die, it's not, like, just randomly, like, my grandpa. Like, my grandpa was sick but functioning for a long time and then, like, had an aneurysm, and his quality of life wasn't drastically hampered. My dad went from being, like, an active person who was, like, training to run a marathon to losing 100 pounds, not being able to eat, not being able to walk, not being able to talk. She wasn't there for that. And to, like, discredit someone else's loss, being like, oh, well, you didn't lose X, Y, and Z, so your loss isn't as meaningful. That's so hurtful. And, like, my mother is not part of my life, so my dad was, like, my everything. And he was so awesome. Like, I'm not trying to get emotional. I know I'm kind of getting emotional, but it's, like, it's weird because it's not really a bad emotion. Like, a lot of kids have parents who, like, expect so much of them. Or, on the flip side, someone like my mom who just is, like, emotionally, like, like, just, like, an emotional vampire, you know? Like, just tries to, like, suck everything good out of your life. But, like, I'm super lucky because, like, even though I lost my dad early, my dad was, like, the greatest man who ever walked the face of this planet. And I know that, like, a lot of people would say that about, like, their parents. And that's great. Like, if you think that about your parents, like, you're so lucky. Because, like, anybody would have been so lucky and so blessed to have my dad in their life. Like, he was just, like, a really, like, he genuinely gave a shit about other people. And, like, a way that, like, you just don't, like, see very often. Like, when I was maybe 11, my dad saw this car accident that was really bad. It was, like, this guy had a heart attack when he was in his car, crossed 3 lanes of traffic, and then hit a telephone pole, and it, like, crushed his car. My dad saw the whole thing go down, and he actually pulled his car over, walked across the 3 lanes of traffic, broke the window of the guy's car open, and did CPR. The guy ended up dying, and my dad had to go through, like, 6 months of, like, HIV and, like, hepatitis and stuff like that because, like, my dad had to get stitches because he cut himself when he broke the window open, and the guy's wife wouldn't sign a waiver to, like, test his blood for whatever reason. I don't freaking know. So my dad had to, like, go through all of this, and it was, like, really stressful for him, and, like, he maintained for, like, he was so adamant through the whole process of having to go get tested once a week and, like, all of these things that, like, it was still the right thing to do, and that, like, he's so glad he did it, even though the guy died, that, like, he knew that, like, someone was there to help him, and, like, you know, and he wanted other people to treat him that way, that if anything ever happened, he would hope that someone would stop and help him, or that if anything ever happened to me, that somebody would stop and help me, and, like, he was like, I hope that if anything like that ever happens and you can help, that you do. And, like, people are so, like, I got mine, that's all that matters in this world. And, like, my dad was so just selfless. Like, he like, didn't care about material things. And, like, I don't want to, like, nostalgia glasses and be like, he's the best dude ever, because everyone in the world has their flaws. But, like, he was just a really genuinely great human being. And, like, he was so proud of everything I did. Like, it didn't matter. Like, he just was proud. He just, like, wanted me to be happy, and he wanted me to be successful. And, like, anytime I came to him and was like, hey, Dad, I did this thing, he was like, oh my gosh, it's so great. Like, I'm so proud of you. And, like, I feel like so many kids don't get that. There are kids who go through law school or medical school, and it's, like, not enough for their parents. And there are kids who, it doesn't matter. It's not about, like, where you go to school or what you do. Like, kids deserve, if they are trying, you deserve someone to be proud of you. And, like, my dad was always proud of me. And, so I'm, like, really lucky in that way. But anyways, back to my aunt. I think it was, like, super mean of her to just, like, discredit. And the last thing I said to her, I said I talked to her 3 weeks ago. The last thing I said was I posted a vague status on Facebook, which is really petty and childish, I admit. All it said, though, was grief is not a contest. That's all it said. It didn't say anything more. It didn't say, you bitch. All it said was, you know, grief is not a contest. And apparently that 3 weeks later, I deserve to get disowned. Like, that's literally what happened. I'm not exaggerating at all. Like, I have no idea what in the world. And in the I'm gonna disown you email, she said, you know, my heart is always open to you if you reach out to me. And I, like, called her as soon as I got it to be like, What are you talking about? I think you're misunderstanding something. And she sent my call to voicemail and never called me back and never emailed me back, nothing. So, I don't know, it's like hard because when stuff like that happens, you want to think like, what's wrong with me? What did I do to prompt this situation? But like, there really are times in life where it's not you. Like, if you are in the presence of someone who's always trying to like pity monger and like start a fight and like bring that sort of attention and energy around themselves, like walk away, because their issues are not with you, it's themselves. Like, there's no way that you can cause someone to behave like that. And it's like hard to wrap your mind around that, and it's like much easier advice to give than it is to, you know, apply. But I don't know, this video just got real heavy, man. But that's what's going on in my life. And I'm okay. I know I just got like a little choked up there for a second, but it's like, it would be weirder if I didn't. I don't know, like I do my best to try to like suck it up, because like, as much as like, I know it sounds super cliche to be like, even though I lost my dad early, like I'm super lucky. I really am. Like, I see people every day whose parents are disappointing. Like, I don't have like another word to use for it, whose parents have like really issues that they're not taking care of, and they're disappointing, or they're mean, or they're, you know, they're not supportive for whatever reason. And like, I feel like everybody deserves that. And like, if your parent isn't giving that to you and you're genuinely trying to be a good person, that's it. It has nothing to do with your job. It has nothing to do with education. If you are waking up in the morning and doing your best to not be an asshole, and like, you don't have a parent supporting you for whatever reason, that's not your fault. And you shouldn't, I know it's hard to say, like, you shouldn't feel bad about that, but like, I have a parent, like my mother does not, I don't know what her problem is. I mean, there's just, you can't make I can't make logical sense of what she thinks, because she's not a logical person. And I'm sorry if that's like how your life is. I get it. I mean, I obviously do not know exactly how you're feeling, but I know how it feels to have my mother treat me that way. And just know that like, if your parents don't accept you because of the job you chose, or because of the person that you're with, or because of where you live, or whatever, if it's for any other reason, then you are an actual asshole. If it's for literally any other reason than that, like, I'm sorry that you have to deal with that, and you don't deserve it. And there are people in the world that are going to be supportive of you, so try to find them. Weird vlog, sorry. Long vlog, weird and long vlog. Like, at this point, this is a full-length 30-minute TV show with commercials. Hey! What else? I think that's all the things. I'm gonna go. I have a video to film. It's nice and cool in the room now, so you effectively helped me waste a good amount of time. Thank you for that, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna go. Oh! I'm getting a new Erin Condren planner. I'm super excited. No one cares, but I'm super excited. I hope it comes soon. That's really it. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna go. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I'm sorry about this vlog where I talk too much. I'm trying, I don't know, I'm trying to vlog more. It's hard for me. Like, I used to vlog a lot and tell you guys all sorts of stuff, and like, I'm not actually sure if I was telling you all that was going on in my head, or if it was like a persona or what. I don't know. I'm trying to vlog. I'm trying to keep you guys in the loop with what's going on in my life, and doing the best I can. So I'm gonna go. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.